The European Union's Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, or CBAM, represents a significant development in global climate policy and international trade. Implemented to support the EU's ambitious decarbonization targets, CBAM aims to level the playing field between EU and non-EU producers by imposing a carbon price on imports of carbon-intensive goods. This mechanism has far-reaching implications for developing economies like India, particularly for sectors with high carbon footprints. CBAM's core objective is to prevent carbon leakage, where businesses shift production to countries with less stringent environmental regulations to avoid carbon pricing within the EU. While aimed at promoting cleaner production practices globally, CBAM has sparked concerns about its potential impact on the competitiveness of exports from developing countries. This is particularly relevant for India, a nation heavily reliant on exports in sectors like steel, cement, and aluminum, which are directly targeted by CBAM. The introduction of CBAM has ignited a debate on the balance between environmental responsibility and international trade fairness. On the one hand, it incentivizes global industries to adopt cleaner technologies. On the other hand, it raises concerns about potential trade barriers and increased costs for developing economies still in their industrialization phases. Understanding the complexities of CBAM and its potential ramifications is crucial for India to navigate this evolving global trade landscape effectively. A thorough analysis of the potential impact on specific industries, along with the formulation of comprehensive strategies, is vital for India to mitigate risks and leverage opportunities presented by this new era of carbon-conscious trade. The implementation of CBAM poses significant challenges for India's trade, particularly for industries with high carbon intensity. As a major exporter of goods like steel, cement, and aluminum, India faces the risk of reduced competitiveness in the EU market due to the added carbon tariffs. This is especially concerning considering the EU's position as one of India's largest trading partners. One of the immediate consequences of CBAM is the increased compliance costs for Indian industries. Meeting the stringent EU standards for carbon emissions reporting and verification necessitates investments in new technologies and processes, which constrain financial resources, particularly for small and medium enterprises, or SMEs. These enterprises, often operating on thin margins, may find it challenging to absorb these additional costs, potentially impacting their viability and competitiveness. Furthermore, CBAM has the potential to trigger shifts in global supply chains. EU importers faced with higher costs for carbon-intensive imports from India may seek alternative suppliers with lower carbon footprints. This could lead to a decline in demand for Indian exports, impacting employment and overall economic growth. The ripple effects of such shifts could be felt across various sectors of the Indian economy. The introduction of CBAM by the EU could also trigger a domino effect, with other developed economies adopting similar mechanisms. The prospect of a more widespread adoption of carbon border taxes amplifies the challenges for Indian exporters, potentially restricting access to key global markets. This emphasizes the need for proactive adaptation strategies to maintain competitiveness in a rapidly changing global trade environment. To mitigate the adverse effects of CBAM and leverage potential opportunities, India must adopt a multi-pronged approach that balances its climate commitments with economic interests. This involves strengthening domestic carbon markets, accelerating investments in green technologies, and actively engaging in international diplomacy. Strengthening domestic carbon pricing mechanisms is essential for India to transition towards a low-carbon economy and comply with global standards. Expanding existing initiatives like the Perform, Achieve and Trade or PAT scheme and exploring the introduction of a nationwide cap-and-trade system can incentivize industries to reduce emissions and enhance their competitiveness in international markets. Investing in green technologies is crucial for decarbonizing energy-intensive industries. Promoting research and development in areas like renewable energy, green hydrogen and carbon capture, utilization and storage, or CCUS, can significantly reduce India's carbon footprint. Government incentives and public-private partnerships can accelerate the adoption of these technologies across various sectors. Engaging in international negotiations is vital to ensure a level playing field and prevent discriminatory trade practices. India should actively participate in platforms like the World Trade Organization, or WTO, to address concerns about CBAM's potential to create trade barriers. Collaborating with other developing countries facing similar challenges can amplify India's voice and influence in shaping global trade rules. The implementation of CBAM presents both challenges and opportunities for India. While it underscores the urgent need to decarbonize industrial processes, it also risks hindering economic growth and competitiveness in crucial export sectors. India's response to CBAM necessitates a delicate balancing act between meeting its climate obligations and safeguarding its economic interests. By strengthening domestic carbon markets, investing in green technologies, and engaging in strategic international diplomacy, India can navigate the complexities of this new era of carbon-conscious trade. Embracing a proactive and comprehensive approach is not just about mitigating risks, but also about positioning India as a leader in sustainable development. By fostering innovation and collaboration, India can turn the challenges posed by CBAM into opportunities to build a more resilient and sustainable economy while contributing to global efforts to combat climate change.